what do we have here? Cunningham Machine tie rod sleeves. Now, Blue already has new tie rods on him and new tires and lots of other spiffy things. So I figured I'll put some sleeves on this so that way I can four-wheel drive launch it in the future. So I'm going to go ahead and pop the tire off, pop that tie rod off, and see what's going to take to sleeve these things. And it's going to the shop for an alignment on Friday. Alright, so take the stock tie rods off. Got to get your little fancy clip guys out of here. 1, 2, inner and outer. These are 1/2 inch. You got to take these off. So I'm going to go ahead and pull my safety clips out. Cotter key, whatever you want to call them. Got one in the back too. Make sure you got a jack and a jack stand under the truck. These are 3/4 inch nuts. So get these out, back these out, and it frees up the tie rod. Once I get the tie rod off, then I'll work on getting the tie rod sleeve on. The other way you can do this, which I might try on this side, is leave this inner tie rod on. I'm going to pull the outer off and just do the sleeve. A little bit harder, so I might measure from this point into that back point to give a rough idea of length before I do this. I'm getting an alignment on Friday, so it's not the end of the world if I get this a little bit out of place. So I'll at least get this end off, get this loosened up, and have this hanging, and then I'll get the Cunningham sleeve and start to put it all together. Okay, so we got our nut out. Usually you can pop these out with a pickle fork, go through there. This one you kind of have to actually go from an angle so you hit the spindle. Or what you can do as option 3 is take your nut, thread him on the top, like so, pop with a hammer, comes right out. So there's your tie rod removal on the outer end. So now I'm going to go ahead and start taking these guys loose, and I am going to go and leave the inner on since these are new. So I'll get these off, thread this out, and then I'll put the Cunningham sleeve on. Alright, she's loose. As you can see, just take these 2 clamps and they come off. You can start to spin your end out. So not too hard here because they're new and I never seized them and made sure that I could get to everything and do this in a relatively short amount of time. So now you know how to get the adjuster sleeve off. There's a lot of threads sticking up in there, so it takes a second. All right, outer's out. So, the new Cunningham kit comes with a jam nut, which you need. So, jam nut goes on first. Put him into place. All right. Behold the tie rod sleeve. Put him on. This is trickier to do with one hand than I ever presumed it would be. Oops. Okay. Since I'm struggling to do this one-handed, I'm not an acrobat. I may thread this on. There we go. Hot dang. Just had to get a good twist. And finally get a thread sketch. Backwards, forwards, all the above. Alright, so third reverse seam in the first. You'll spin this thing up a mile until it reaches the jam nut. Boop. So there's our outer tie rod assembly with Mr. Sleeve. So now what I can do is work on removing this adjuster, and then I'll put the jam nut up here and thread it all together. All right, so jam nut, sleeve, jam nut, inner, outer, backwards, inner, outer tie rod. All right, so all you gotta do now is slip this guy back up in his home like that. Throw the nut on. And now you have a brand new inner and outer tie rod assembly with the Cunningham Machine sleeve. And this will be what it looks like. If I can thread these down a little bit. So that's what it looks like, all set in place, all hooked up. So hopefully this helps some of you guys out if you're looking to sled pull, drag race, and or do other shenanigans. I will definitely say these sleeves are stronger than a factory one by a long shot. I mean, you can see billet versus a basically threaded C with 2 clamps. So yeah, here's your tie rod sleeve installation on a 92 Chevrolet K2500. Thanks everybody. All right, so Blue has tie rod sleeves. Blue has oil cooler lines, head gaskets, headlights, a very nice interior. Can't go wrong with that. Need to patch a hole in the seat. New tires. He's looking good. I'm really thinking it'll make it to Rudy's. Got to do some major test drives once the front end alignment is done on Friday. Other than that, beautification is a later date thing, but Blue is ready to go.